This is a very low res painting. I think the original size is about 1400 wide, so it's very small. Because I did actually 4 of these in a row. You guys saw me save the file just now. You can see there's 3 other ones. So in one sit down with the students in class, I actually generated about 4 of these. Because each one only takes about half an hour. So you're talking about only 2 hours to do four painting demos. And that's the whole point of these, to show students that once you understand composition and value, that you could generate these quick concept paintings very, very quick, and you can always take them to a much higher degree. So if you had 2, 3 days, imagine you're working for BioWare or something, and you're assigned to do these things for Mass Effect 3 or whatever game they're working on, you probably have a little bit more time than half an hour to do a painting, right? So you probably have, at least 1, 2 days to do these, maybe more, I don't know. Then you can actually refine these to a very photographic, get the textures in there, get all the values in there, right? Very photographic result. But this is a great way to start it, because most of these paintings, they always start rough. So here I'm adding a road that leads to the base of the building. Excuse me for the coughing. So hopefully by next week, no more coughing. Right. Some other roads. These things are add to scale. So it looks like this building is the center of, excuse me, center of the desert here. So all the markets and everything is at the base of this building. And it's very helpful for, as a designer, to experience these type of locations in person. So even when I was painting this little quick rough thing here, I brought back memories of, excuse me, this cough is getting pretty bad. Anyways, brought back memories of me in Edwards Air Force Base, which is based in Los Angeles, based about 2 hours away from Los Angeles. It's Edwards Air Force Base. Once a year they have these air shows out there, and the environment looks very similar to what you see here. They're kind of in the middle of a desert there with their Air Force Base, and very clear sky, no clouds. You have this kind of horizon that just goes on forever, super, super hot. So when I was painting this, I kind of tried to bring those memories back and try to imagine, what did I see on that day when I was out there, and try to capture that in your painting. Man, this cough is really acting up now. So I hope you guys don't mind. Maybe next week it'll be gone. These are some further details to just give building scale. These are things I remember doing this for the students as well, is that if you want to make something very, very huge, like a huge building or something, it helps to add some very tight, intricate details. It doesn't mean you put details all over your design, right? If I went in here and just added tons of micro details all over this building, you actually look too busy. The silhouette or the I guess monolithic type of architecture will be lost if I went in there and detailed everything out. However, by adding these little tiny intricate stuff, little tiny details like what I'm doing right now, it gives the building a lot of scale. And you kind of tend to see that on large buildings as well. Like you look at a very simple building, however, on the very top, maybe there are some antennas or lightning rods or something like that, right? That gives it a huge scale. So the idea here is doing the exact same thing. These micro details, not overcrowding the building, but enough to give it that read. These are some seam lines, right, and some dirt. I figure once in a while it probably rains in this place, right? I'm kind of, again, setting up a story in my mind about this place. So once in a while it does rain in the desert, and since this building is so huge, they probably can't really clean it. So these dirt marks and streaks tend to appear on the building. It's pretty cool seeing something like this done in real time with no fast forward. So all the decisions, all the ideas are all happening as you watch this video. So you can see if you zoom in on YouTube, you probably can't see it, but in high resolution HD, you can see this is actually quite pixelated, because when I zoom in, it's no longer 1:1; it's at 150% viewing, right? So you can see, I just see the pixels of the image. The typical paintings I do are generally about 3,000 to about 5,000 pixels wide if it's a widescreen painting. So this is about 1/5 of the resolution. Excuse me. But I do start most of my paintings small and then just scale them up as we go. So I start them. I usually start them at the res of my monitor. So excuse me. So if my screen res is say, excuse me, 2560, and then my base resolution for the starting painting will be 2560. So, but if you have a monitor, say 1920, then I'll start at 1920. This way I could get 100% view on the default screen in Photoshop. And then what I do next is that if I want to res it up further, so if you got say 1920, then the next one would be somewhere around 4,000, right? So you times by 2. These are some further details. Again, trying to bring some shapes in there that are not super Western, so you can see some cultural influences in this architecture. Quick copy and paste. See, so this creates a sense of entrance. Whoops, wrong layer, right? I'm trying to copy and paste just the patterns. This will help bring focus to the entrance point of this building. Right, super quick copy and paste, give it some focus. You know, it's a rough painting, but you want to capture these things. So even at this stage, if you're working in a production, especially in a video game environment where things have to happen so quickly sometimes to get approved, because you have 3D modelers who want to mock this up in a game, that these quick techniques are very, very useful. So glad these videos are free. Otherwise, imagine how many takes we have to do this for reals, right? If it is a Noman video or something like that, all this coughing will be all have to be redone. So hopefully it's gone by next week. You know, never know. These things last for a while, and do a lot of talking while running a company, so you can never get a time to rest. These are some further details on the building. I don't know what I was trying to do here. I think I was trying to add some kind of symbol, but like a person or something, you know. But it didn't really come out exactly what I wanted. Just he's like kind of like a guy with his arms out, you know, or it could be a star. I don't know. I added some red on the base. You can see there on the base of this building, there's some, you know, maybe some smaller markets and stuff out there. So those, along with the pattern, will bring a focus to the building. So whenever you're designing, this is more of a design tip here. You got to treat everything like a character. So a building, a vehicle, whatever you're doing, they have every feature a character has. Like a car, for example, has a face, it has a body, right? And you get the same thing on a building. It has an entrance, it has a area where the eye should go first, right? If you treat it that way, then you bring nicer focus to your image. So in this case, I want the base of this building to have your first focus, or at least you know where the entrance points are. So now I'm working on the background. So this part of the image what I'm painting right now doesn't even exist in the original photograph, so that this value is completely based on just eyeballing. I want to create these kind of mountains way in the background. Again, something I've seen when I was out in the desert many years ago. You see this kind of phenomenon in the desert. You see this kind of blue hazed mountains way in the distance. And this will help create some depth to this painting as well, so it's not so flat, so it looks like you could see on for many, many kilometers.